Mike Levin is facing off against Republican Brian Maryott. The two faced off before in 2020 with Levin winning the district. Recent polls now show the race as a toss-up between the two. Team 10 examined the ads that each candidate is running ahead of November 8th. And reporter Melissa Masiha gives us a look at both sides.
These are some of the political ads in the 49th on our air. Congressman Levin focusing on the January 6th attack on the Capitol and criticizing his Republican challenger. Brian Maryott talking about his past before taking a swipe at his opponent. Each ad designed to evoke certain emotions from you, the viewer.
I'm Mike Levin.
I'm Brian Maryott.
They're 30-second ads packing a lot in each message. I sat down with Dr. Skip Rutledge from Point Loma Nazarene University. He's the chair in the Department of Communication Studies and also teaches about rhetoric. We started with the Levin ad.
This is what happens when cynical leaders refuse to accept the results of a free election. 17 months after the January 6th insurrection, congressional candidate Brian Maryott still refused to admit that Donald Trump had lost. This year, democracy itself is on the ballot.
Very purposeful, very indicting.
Rutledge said political ads fall into different categories. This one, obviously, an attack ad.
It's very effective. The viewers say they don't like it, they hate it, and yet we're somehow hooked in by it.
The ad uses a quote from the San Diego Union Tribune that Maryott wouldn't say whether the 2020 presidential election was a settled matter. That is true from this column in the UT back in June. What he did say on Twitter the day after January 6th was that the events were tragic on so many levels and sickening to watch. Every rioter who broke the law should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Those protesters who did so peacefully had every right to do so, and that must never change. This Maryott ad takes a different tone, one that Rutledge said starts out as a positive promo ad.
Before starting my business, I was a busboy, a cook, an overnight janitor. I know what it's like to work and see your savings devoured by inflation and taxes. That's why I teach financial literacy in underserved communities.
He's not only saying, I shared this with you, that identification that's so popular in rhetoric, but he's saying, I feel the threats you should be feeling as well.
Then it changes.
Helping working families means getting rid of tax-raising, inflation-causing politicians.
Images of Speaker Nancy Pelosi with Levin and the phrase career politician.
The attack there is career politicians don't really care because they just move on to other political jobs.
While Speaker Pelosi was first elected to office back in the 1980s, it's not true that Levin is a career politician at this point. He was first elected to Congress in 2018 and worked as an environmental attorney before that. Rutledge leaves voters with this message.
Don't let other people think for you, because if you do that, they're just programming you and you're going to vote a certain way. So dig into the data.
Melissa Masiha, Team 10.